Hey, what's up? This is Emmy from Redhook, and you're listening to Rhino Radio.
Subscribe. Or of Rhino Radio here today, and I have the pleasure of chatting to Emmy all the way from Australia, the lead vocalist of Redhook. How are you doing today, Emmy?
G'day, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
So,
We're seemingly right now on top of all this COVID stuff. Knock on wood. So
yeah, hopefully we're just
things are
behind
looking
you.
up.
Yeah, we're hoping to be just behind you and start performing again and sweating in a tiny club next to stages. But we're still
Yes,
dreaming, just trying to make it safe. But
you'll get there. You can do it. I believe in you.
we have some of your tunes to help us cheer ourselves up and dream of louder days. We got the announcement of Bad Decisions, your debut EP that's going to be out April 23rd. How was it finally, after I think about 2 years? I started following you with Turn Up the Stereotype in 2018. You were even in the
Mhm.
UK about 2 years ago as well, in 2019. How was it, all those 2 years of hard work and music, and finally you get to announce your EP?
Yeah, it's been great. Like it feels so good to finally be because I pretty much since we first started, people have been kind of hounding us about when we're gonna release something, a bit of a longer form release. So it feels really good to finally be able to have something in the bag and coming out. And it really like I just personally like working on this EP and putting it together really helped get me through um COVID, like when we were just balls deep in the pandemic and we just watched all of our tour plans just fall like dominoes, like one at a time. It was kind of like my salvation, just being able to pour myself um, into recording and into writing. And yeah, and it's great to have something to share with everyone. I'm really excited.
Well, I'm excited as well. As I said, I've been following you since 2018, and I kept asking myself, when is an EP or an album going to come out? And finally, we can say that. Unfortunately, I missed you when you were here at Download and the tour around it. The only week of the last decade that I was sick, so I missed you there.
Oh
I felt
no.
so bad, but finally we have Bad Decisions, some new sounds, and hopefully maybe soon you're going to be able to say that you're coming back to Europe and the UK.
Oh my
But
gosh, we can't wait. We cannot wait to get back there. So excited.
I will be there in the nosebleed section. And I started reading about you and the band and exploring before our chat. And I heard that you're actually on both sides of the camera. You're interviewing and being interviewed, obviously, for the band. What is easier? What are you missing more right now?
Um, Mostly I'm just missing touring and playing live. But yeah, like in terms of interviews, do you know what? I find it easier to be the interviewer, like when I'm suddenly on the other side and like I have to be the one who's talking about stuff. I always just feel like so much more I don't know. I don't know because the spotlight's on you and you have to yeah, it's just more pressure, I think, but I love it. Like I love talking about stuff, but I think, yeah, I get more nervous about it.
Was there a specific interview, either being interviewed or interviewing someone, that you had your knees shaking the most?
Oh, do you know what? I think it would have been I got to interview Tom Morello
Mhm.
from Rage Against the Machine and Audio Slave, obviously, to just Tom Morello.
Yes.
And just being such a massive fangirl since I was a kid. I just had to try really hard just to be cool, just to seem like really chill. When on the inside I was like, oh my god, I'm just trying to like just trying to be zen. But it was great. Like it always it the fantastic thing about people like Tom Morello is, when you do meet them, they're just as awesome, if not more awesome than you always do. Because he's just such a legend. He was so lovely. He was so easy to chat to, and didn't you get sometimes like in my experience, Americans a lot of the time like some American musicians, particularly in the rock scene, can be like dicks. They're just like, oh, like just some pathetic journalists, like another, like, just they don't really care about you, and they don't really give you the time of day. But then, Tom Morello was just so lovely. It was just so lovely, and talks to you like you're a human being, and it's great. It's great. That was probably my all-time favorite interview.
So I got to ask, what's scarier, meeting your heroes or clowns?
Wait, are you just asking this in general? Do you actually know that I have a fear of clowns?
I cannot reveal my sources, but there was a reason for the question.
Oh my God. I'm freaking out of it right now. Even just the mention of clowns, I'm like looking around like you. No, 100% clowns. Like 100% fuck clowns, man. Like I cannot deal with clowns. I just can't.
And I want to go back to something that was mentioned. I had a cheeky listen to your EP and I loved it. And I dove into the lyrics and I saw some sort of a remark about the fact that you were top of your class and you were even in Catholic school, but then something changed. So I was just wondering, because I think my hardest and maybe the worst lesson as an adult was to kind of reassess my goals, my structure around me. So coming from a Catholic background, being top of your class, and then obviously the song says that you kind of hit rock bottom. But on the other hand, sometimes people say that freedom is bad, or that also that the relief of kind of hitting rock bottom. So where do you find yourself in between kind of being told to follow the rules and in a very strict structure, but then also the freedom of rock bottom?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, and I can only speak from my own personal experience. I think, you definitely outed me there with being at the Ducks in my Catholic school. I was very much like a Hermione Granger type growing up. I was just very straight-laced, and I think I was just the classic case of, just became an adult and had a very sheltered childhood. So as soon as I was opened up to the fast world of like sex, drugs, and rock and roll, it was just, I just went like way too hard. And then, like you said, made a lot of bad decisions, and finding myself at rock bottom. I think it's all about balance, right? Like just like with everything, I think, I guess, again, everybody's different, but for me, then I think I need to have at least a little bit of structure and, just regulation. Otherwise, my life just very easily just devolves into chaos. So it's still a work in progress, but happy to report I'm in a much better place than I was when I wrote that song.
So yes, obviously we're really excited about the EP, but does it mean that now, if we look forward to the album, there's going to be a song about you going to law school, trying to find that balance?
Going to law school? Oh man, no way. I definitely don't have the self-control for law school. Nah. I don't think I have the brain cells left to go to law school. it'd be like Legally Blonde 3 or something, except with a ranger.
I'll be following that, even if it just appears on the album as a giggle track. But as I said, I've been following you for a long time, and I've watched some interviews, and you did mention that you have a lot of tracks. I've noticed that some of the singles that I've listened to over the last couple of years did not make it to the EP. So does it mean that there might be a follow-up soon after?
Look, we're just trying to just make as much music as possible. We did talk about doing like a big, like maybe like doing an album like before we decided to release this EP that had all the older songs on it, just because I don't know, I'm a little bit anal, I'm a little bit OCD, and I was like, oh well, there's all these songs just sitting there that they don't have an album to live on. But I think it's just, I guess it's just the way that the industry's going. It's just like just releasing standalone singles is becoming a lot more of the norm. So I've just made my peace with that. And I think, hopefully it won't be long after this EP before we release more music. We just want to keep releasing as much as possible. But it'll all be fresh. Like it won't, yeah, all the old songs are very dear to me. They hold a very, very special place in my heart, each and every one of them. But yeah, in terms of like longer releases, I think it's just all going to be new stuff from here on out.
Okay, and I got to confront you with a rumor that I found online about the EP. So you can either confirm or completely deny it.
Where are you finding all this stuff? Like
as I told you, I cannot reveal my sources, but you can, again, either confirm or deny it. You already mentioned that you had so much fun in the UK, exploring, playing, interacting with fans. So your fans think that your love for the UK actually got a bagpipe involved in the EP. Is that true?
Oh my goodness. Look, without giving too much away, I can confirm that there are one or two unconventional instruments on the EP, but I will not confirm or deny whether one of them is a set of bagpipes.
Is it something that Craig used to go to school for? Did he finally?
Is this your plan the whole time? Look, Craig, yes, he was, you know, kind of similar to me, I guess. He was like he was a bit of an overachiever, and he was like in band camp. So for playing a particular instrument, and that instrument may or may not make an appearance on the EP.
Okay, I know that a lot of fans are really excited right now, and they want to hear what did Craig push into the EP in a surprising manner.
Do you want me? Okay, all right. I'll give you a spoiler alert. Just look up the video on YouTube, "Sexy Sax Man," and then that'll give you a bit of context.
I am intrigued and scared at the same time right now.
You should be. No, it's fabulous. It's amazing.
I want to go a bit more deep with you. One of the latest singles that you released is called "Cure for Psycho." And when I got the track, it was also introduced with some sort of an explanation or a warning, as on one hand, I'm guessing the band wanted to be mental healthy aware, but on the other hand, still extend their creative freedom and use the word psycho in the kind of old traditional manner. So I wanted to know, where does your artistic freedom collide with the PC culture? Did you have a conversation with the band, or where did it come to a stop?
Well, with Cure for Psycho, that I guess like adding that disclaimer was something that was kind of, I guess it was kind of important to me, because just in terms of the message behind the song, because I just didn't, I guess like when you're talking about just using the word psycho, especially, I guess there was two things. First of all, I didn't want to send like the wrong message. Like I wanted to be very clear that, you know, we were in no way vilifying or demonizing anybody who suffers from mental health issues, because mental health is something that's very important to me, and being positive and proactive in the way that we address that with our music is very important to me. That also, so in terms of the disclaimer that you were talking about, that was about using the word psycho in its traditional sense, in terms of like somebody who is a legitimate psychopath, who feels no empathy, who you know, feels no remorse, who is cruel and callous, and derives a sense or can derive a sense of pleasure from someone else's pain. That was the context that we were using that word in. So I just wanted to make that very clear. That was just really important to me. But also, it was about kind of subverting that meaning that people, I guess, like in modern culture, have sort of, you know, people use the word psycho a lot to, I guess, kind of just like demonize, like, you know, emotional ex-partners, and particularly women. So it was kind of about taking the power back a little bit, you know, with the use of that term, and kind of just reasserting the meaning of it, if any of this is making sense. So I guess in terms of the PC side of things, it was less, that move was less to me about being politically correct, and more just about making sure that the meaning translated the way that I wanted it to. I guess, but in terms of being PC, I mean, it's something, releasing. I think it's such a fine line, isn't it? Because, on the one hand, like you want to be part of the solution. You want to move society forward and be part of a better future where, everybody feels safe and nobody feels like they're being outcast or demonized because of their because of who they are. But at the same time, just for instance, with Bad Decisions, that's a very candid song, and there's a lot of very, very honest lyrics and a lot of swearing, and I'm sure it's probably offended people who have heard it, just based on just what I'm saying. But and I was where I was like, oh fuck, like I was really nervous. I was like, am I gonna get cancelled because I'm just being so honest? But I think as long as you're not being, as long as you're being honest and you're talking about yourself, and you're not putting anything out there that's going to be damaging to anybody or attack anybody because of the way they are. I really don't think it's that hard, honestly. Like I know a lot of the time, like as an artist, once you put something out there, like the meaning can get twisted from what you intend it to be. So I guess like with Cure for Psycho, putting out that disclaimer was part of me making sure that the meaning couldn't be twisted in a way that could be seen to be not what the intention was, if that makes sense. Sorry, I feel like I'm rambling.
It is a very touchy, it's a touchy topic, and people do get offended sometimes when you don't mean to offend them. So on one hand, I enjoyed the track. On the other hand, the explanation kind of anchored it just to go back to what you meant and make sure that everyone's on the same page. So I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed your explanation as well.
I hope it made sense. It is a tricky one, isn't it? Because I think being PC, I guess, means there's such negative connotations attached to it. But I think like if you're just treating everybody with respect and the way that that you would want to be treated yourself, you can't really fuck that up too much. Like, as long as you're not a cunt, like just don't be a cunt, really.
That's a good life motto.
Yeah, I think like people just need more empathy. Like people need more empathy for everyone, even when, even God forbid, if somebody fucks up and says the wrong thing once and makes a mistake. Like I really, I really don't, I'm not a huge fan of cancel culture. Like I really think that there just needs to be more empathy in the world in general. And that includes like, depending, everything's contextual. It depends how serious, someone's fuck up is. But if somebody learns from their mistakes and wants to change, and I think society should be more open to giving them that opportunity.
So I'm going to try and not get you to repeat yourself, but there is a recurring question that I present to musicians from all over the world. And I like the fact that you're from Australia, so it's going to be a different answer. And also the fact that you're an artist, but also a fan, but also an interviewer. So you might give us a different angle of looking at that. But if we're trying to make the music scene safer and more welcoming for everyone, fans, musicians, interviewers as well, is there any tip that you would give us, again, as musicians, as fans, as anything right now, obviously with Corona affecting us, but what do you think we need to do to make it even more welcoming, safer, and more open to more people to come and join us at stages once it's safe, get more music, get more involved? What would you say we need to either do more or stop doing right now so more people will get involved?
Like literally, like I don't mean to repeat myself, but just literally, like, just don't be a fuckwit. Like, just don't be a fuckwit. Just be chill. Like, just everybody, just be chill. Like, have fun. Treat each other with respect. Just let's have like a positive, sick environment, because that's like, like music. We all like music because we're all a little bit weird. We're all like missing. So music like sort of completes us in a way, and we all have that. That's what unites us. So why fuck it up by being a cunt? Like, just don't do it. Like, just treat people with empathy and respect, and hope that they treat you with the same empathy and respect, and we'll all have a good time, and it'll be great, and it'll be awesome. Just don't be a fuckwit. That's literally it's as simple as that.
And also, don't forget not to dress up as a clown when going to a show.
And please don't dress up as a clown, because then I will just not have a very good time. I won't be on stage. I'll be hiding under the stairs with a blankie.
Emmy of Redhook, you got me so excited about Bad Decisions, your debut EP that's going to be out April 23rd, and hopefully you're going to be able to announce a visit to the UK soon. Is there anything else?
Oh, I hope so.
Is there anything else you want to add to fans and listeners before we say goodbye?
Just that, man, we were so bummed. We were supposed to be back in the UK and touring Europe midway through last year. It was one of the many, many tour plans that got the COVID wrecking ball. But let's just hope that this vaccine can kind of help shit, and that we'll be back getting sweaty in the mosh pits really soon. And we can't wait. We cannot wait to get back over there. We had such a blast during our first tour at Download Festival and our first tour of the UK and Europe. So yeah, crossing all digits, crossing the devil horns that we'll be back there ASAP. Can't wait. Miss you guys.
Emmy of Redhook, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure. Cannot wait again to get reunited on a stage and enjoy the sounds of Bad Decisions. We said April 23rd. Thank you very much.
Woo-hoo! Thanks. Cheers for having me.